The reason why I'm doing this trip is my wife Marianne and I were always planning to do a trip with electric car that she knew I was a big supporter of electric cars. We were going to take a summer off and go to Newfoundland because either of us have been there and we thought it would be a great trip. Unfortunately, she passed away. I'm doing this trip in her name, hence the name Marianne's Electric Drive. When I started the trip, I dipped the wheels of my Audi into the Pacific Ocean, just next to Mile Zero, Ogden Point in Victoria.
Oh well, I'm gonna look at the road now.
Just look at the road.
That's what I am, but hell, I'm getting all dashboard though. Oh, fuck. Oh, you asshole. You asshole!
Because I am a supporter of electric cars, I really wanted to show that you can take an electric car, not just around the city or a short trip, but a longer trip. And I figured going all the way to Newfoundland would be a long trip. And then, of course, coming back through the United States is the plan. We took the Inside Passage. It's one of the most beautiful spots in British Columbia and in all of Canada. And we took the Inside Passage ferry from Port Hardy to Prince Rupert. On the ferry, I thought we had a lot of time, and I recommended to the purser to put together a nice presentation to some of the people that are interested in electrification of cars and sustainability for personal transportation. 25 people showed up. One of the people there was a youngster from Austria named Stanny. He had some great questions during my presentation. Afterwards, I was invited, along with Richard, my co-pilot, to come up to the bridge. And we're very fortunate because they don't often offer bridge tours. And I suggested to the purser, you know, I really would like Stanny to come along. And he said, of course. The other reason is to raise money for Marianne's favorite charity. Dr. Chris Honey is her surgeon that took care of her ruptured brain aneurysm 19 years ago, and she always supported his charity. So that's another reason to raise money for Vancouver General Hospital Foundation and Dr. Chris Honey's research on Parkinson's. Rich, of course, was my co-pilot to start the trip, and I dropped him off in Calgary. That same afternoon, I was on my way to the house of Jungle Jim Hunter, who was a ski racer for the national ski team. He was the perfect co-pilot for me to take me across the prairies right to Winnipeg. A lot of co-pilots were wanting to go to Newfoundland or the States, but he was the perfect person to accompany me. Born in Shaunavon, Saskatchewan. He lived on a farm with his brother and his parents. It was just fantastic to have him tell me all about the prairies, the irrigation ditches, the teepee at Medicine Hat, the potash deposits along Saskatchewan. He was just a pleasure to be with, and I just felt I had a personal tour guide. Jim was very supportive. He was a great driver as well. We're here in Moose Jaw, and it's an electrical storm here, and you gotta admit, it's pretty amazing. He said the mosquitoes are bugging me. Good morning, everybody. It's Harvey here on Marianne's Electric Drive on Tuesday morning. My destination for charging my next charge will be in Fort Frances. There's a level 3 charger in Fort Frances, and that will allow me to get all the way to Thunder Bay with no trouble at all. The infrastructure for charging is not as developed in the north and over the prairies. A level 2 charger will take, just to even go 200 kilometers, will take 6 hours to charge. I've got my cruise control on, but it's not a regular cruise control. It's an adaptive cruise control, and it actually senses the curves in the road, the people in front. It allows me to stay at a reasonable distance behind people. And when I come up to a curve, but if it was a tight curve, my car would automatically slow down to accommodate the tightness in the turn, and then speed up to the speed that I've selected. On August 24th, 1914, Lieutenant Harry Colburn of the 34th Fort Garry Horse and Canadian Army Veterinary Corps purchased a black bear cub at White River, Ontario, while en route overseas. He named her Winnie after his hometown Winnipeg. Winnie became the soldier's mascot and was left in the care of the London Zoo on December 9th, 1914, while Lieutenant Colburn served in France. In 1919, he gave her to the zoo for permanent keeping, where she was watched and loved by many, including author A.A. Milne and his son, Christopher. In 1926, A.A. Milne and illustrator E.H. Shepard gave the fictional character Winnie the Pooh to Christopher and the world for posterity. Winnie entertained visitors to the London Zoo for almost 20 years and lives on in the hearts of children of all ages. This sculpture was dedicated by the people of White River to the world on August 22nd, 1992. I spent a good 6 days in Toronto. I was invited to the head office of Audi Canada, which is 45 minutes drive east of downtown Toronto in Ajax. When I got there, Felix, who was my product manager for Audi Canada, put together a little slideshow, and in front of about 45 employees, Giorgio, the president of Audi Canada, made a comment. What I was doing was great for the electrification of Audi, and that I was doing my trip in an Audi e-tron. He said, "Harvey, you are a member of the Audi family for life." We have my nephew Liam with me, and I just took him for a drive. What was your first impression? What did you think of the car?
I really like the color.
Yeah.
And it seemed very quiet when I first got into the car.
Right.
And all the different options were really cool.
It's a spectacular riding car. You get what you pay for. It's great technology, super comfortable, great on Montreal potholes, powerful, and beautifully done. The seats are amazing.
I had 4 co-pilots on my trip. The first one was Rich Galen. He was one of my good golf buddies from the University Golf Course. My second co-pilot was Jungle Jim Hunter, a hero of mine while I grew up ski racing. He was one of the top ski racers in Canada. My third co-pilot was Phil Markovich from Montreal, a good childhood friend of mine and business partner. And then my fourth co-pilot was my brother Mel, who was my best friend growing up.
Welcome to New Brunswick. Thank you very much. And certainly, it's exciting to see you make a trip across the country. We know that electric cars are our future, and this sort of venture will enhance people's perception and the reality.
We got 187 kilometers, but our destination is 202.
The destination is actually, let's take a look here.
Oh no, we got 3 to spare.
Yeah, well, no, we actually have, we're going to be, we got 4 to spare. Yeah, we're going to be rolling into Fredericton, New Brunswick. Yeah. It's beautiful scenery here.
No, it's not. It's disgusting.
Anyway,
scenery.
Phil.
We've been going in a straight line for 9 hours. It's a great car. The only problem is you spend more time in front of charging units than you do driving it. Other than that, the thing is fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
I think next time we drive out there, we just put your car on top of a flat top, and you just drive the flat top to Fredericton, and you get there in like half the time.
Phil is lying.
Other than that, it's a fantastic car.
We spend an hour having breakfast, and while we're having breakfast, it's charging. We had an hour and a half lunch, and while we're having lunch, we're charging. That's it. I got permission from Shirley. I'm on my way to Newfoundland.
The prototype exists only right here. This is actually the biggest source on Earth that you can see prototype. Some other examples would be in Oman, Cyprus, and Papua New Guinea. And those are all in highly inaccessible areas.
This artifact from the World Trade Center was donated to the town of Appleton by the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, and the government of the United States of America. It recognizes the outstanding effort of volunteers in hosting the diverted passengers, or plane people, during the 9/11 tragic day, September 11th, 2001. Appleton shares this recognition with Gambo, Gander, Glenwood, Lewisport, Norris Arm, and all other communities that helped in any way with the hosting efforts.
Minnesota was here. He was a black guy, but he was a little bit nervous first, but we didn't really care. We had lunch for him and brought him up the lake, him and his girlfriend, and they enjoyed it, 100%. And then they got the call to go back to the plane. It was a couple of days, it was all over, but he was back after 2 or 3 times.
Transatlantic wireless signal. So it was sent, if you check out this map, from Cornwall, England, across the Atlantic to here in St. John's. And at that time, they had never been able to do long distance radio communication. So for him to be able to complete that changed the world.
I started Marianne's electric drive on July 2nd by dipping the wheels of my Audi into the Pacific Ocean at Ogden Point, Victoria, BC. and on August 11th completed my cross-Canada drive by dipping the wheels into the Atlantic Ocean in Kitty Vidi Harbor, St. John's, Newfoundland. So Curtis lives here in Cupid's. Tell us a little bit about the flag.
This flag is only flown in special occasions for a very short amount of time, so that it doesn't get tore up. Second largest one in the world, from what I've heard from the Historical Society.
Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound across the water. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to leave tomorrow. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away. Sometimes we're bound for Liverpool, sometimes we're bound for Spain. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. But now we're bound for Old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away. Yes.
The water of the tide of the Bay of Fundy rising and rising above the level of the river, so it's actually reversing the river.
I wrote me love a letter, I was on a journey. Heave away, me jollies, heave away.
Now turn right, then turn right. Now turn left. Now turn left. In 600 feet turn slight right, then immediately turn left.
For Old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, we jolly boys, we're all bound away.
I'm going through New York City right now. I'm not stopping. I wasn't planning on coming here or staying here. That'll be another day. But I'm trying to get through to Chesapeake Bay, and you have to go through New York City. What are you going to do?
Almost heaven, West Virginia,
Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
life is older, older than the trees,
Younger than the mountains,
growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong.
In the Washington area with Electrify America.
In essence, we do a lot of testing. So the Center of Excellence is all about testing both on the vehicle, but more importantly on the charger side. One of our core missions is interoperability and making sure that the customer gets a successful charge.
It's a development facility, a test facility, and a quality facility in essence.
How far are we from Knoxville? Like 20 miles?
28 miles. Nashville's all, it's big on country music. Johnny Cash and George Jones and all those good singers are down there. But now you go on down west, you're talking about down all blacks. 95% black people down there. So you'll have to deal with that. You get on down in there.
You mean Memphis you're talking about?
Yeah, Memphis. Like I said, I traveled from Nashville to Arkansas in a pair of mules and a wagon 3 years ago. I went 320 miles, and it took me 30 days.
From just west of St. Louis, I took I-70 and headed west to Kansas on my way to Dillon, Colorado, a distance of 1,462 kilometers or 914 miles. I took 19 hours, recharged 3 times at the new Electrify America super high-speed chargers and 1 standard high-speed charger for a combined total of 3 hours. let Greg give us some commentary on Frisco.
It's in Summit County, and right around here, we're about 10 minutes up the road is Breckenridge. 10 minutes in the other direction is Copper Mountain. Then back towards my house is Dillon and Keystone Resort. This is right kind of in the middle of all the ski resorts here in Summit County. 30 minutes over the hill to Vail.
And I'm in Utah, near very close to Moab and Arches National Park.
Standing in the rain with his head hung low, couldn't get a ticket, it was a sold out.
How's it going today, Kendall?
Going really good. The
That's
weather's
great.
perfect. Trails aren't crowded. We haven't even seen another person on the trip.
What are the names of these towers again?
Determination Tower.
He could picture the scene, put his ear to the wall, and like a distant scream, he heard one guitar, just blew him away. Saw stars in his
And I'm here in Santa Cruz. I was visiting my old buddies at O'Neill Wetsuit. I'm at the charger station just up the street from O'Neill headquarters, and I saw this gentleman charging up this bike that looked amazing, and his name is Brendan.
Hi. This company is the only one that's able to do it right now. Harley Livewire, when that becomes production and goes out to people, they'll also be able to do it. For now, it's just an Energica. This bike charges at 24 kilowatts, which allows it to be charged from 0 to 80% in about 20 minutes. The last 10% will take you another 10 to 15 minutes to get. It's just been the past couple of weeks that I got on my first petrol bikes. They're very interesting, but a lot like a petrol car, you still have to maintain them, you have to do other things, and I really don't like maintaining bikes. Like putting oil on the chain is the most I'm willing to do.
The 0 to 60?
Oh yeah, that's the fun part. It's 2.7 seconds 0 to 60.
And I met Steve at the bagel shop telling me that he's been buying O'Neill wetsuits for how many years?
50 years.
50 years. Wow. And what is it about O'Neill that you like so much?
The quality of the product, they hold up. And if you have a problem, I've never had to bring anything back. Once in a while a seam would come undone, but they hold up.
in a town without a name, in a heavy downpour. Thought he passed his own shadow by the backstage door, like a trip through the past. For that day in the rain, and that one guitar made his whole life change. Now he needs to keep it rocking. He just can't stop. Gotta keep.
Marianne's electric drive was an incredible experience, not only because I saw the beauty of North America while experiencing the comfort and performance of my Audi electric car, but more important, to meet so many new people, close friends, and beloved family along the way.